Hey, I hope you are all doing well and I hope you all had a happy new year. I had lots of fun enjoying it with my family, but I wanted to make a video and come on and do something a little different. So today I'm going to do my makeup and I'm going to talk about this new show that I fell in love with. It's called Bridgerton and it's on Netflix, and it is like, I didn't think I was going to like this show because it just seemed like it was going to be similar to other, you know, timepiece shows, and I've watched a lot of them, but I actually ended up falling in love with this show and I thought it would be really fun to come on and talk about the first episode while doing my makeup today, so that's what I'm going to do. I did also want to say, spoiler alert, there will be lots of spoilers, so if you haven't watched the show and you don't want any spoilers, please turn this video off because I will be having some spoilers from the show. But if you either have watched the show and want to hear more and listen, or if you haven't watched the show and you just want to hear a little bit about what the first episode is before watching it, continue to watch this. So today I am going to get started. I'm going to use my Savvy Minerals Natural Beige foundation on my face. So the show is set in 1813 in London during the debut of all the eligible ladies for the marriage market. That sounds like so much fun. So like all these ladies, they come and they debut themselves to all of the gentlemen and the queen to be on display to find a suitor to get married. Sounds like a wonderful way to live, doesn't it? So we have in this show two main families and then like a couple of other side families. We have the Bridgertons, which the show is titled after, and they are said to be a beautiful, perfect family. They have 3 sons and they have 4 daughters. The father of the Bridgerton has passed away before the show was made, so the eldest brother is the Lord Bridgerton now, and then the mother is Lady Bridgerton, and then we have the main character Daphne Bridgerton, her sister Eloise Bridgerton, and then 2 younger brothers, and then 2 more younger sisters. So I'm using Savvy Minerals Liquid Concealer in Light 2 for my concealer. Okay, so the other family that is like kind of another main family, but it's also kind of like a side family, are the Featheringtons. They live right across the street from the Bridgertons. And the Featheringtons have Lord Featherington and Lady Featherington, the mother and father. They have 3 daughters who are being debuted in this first episode, and their names are Prudence, Penelope, and Philippa. Penelope doesn't really want to be debuted, but her mom wants her to be, so she is going to be debuted this season. And then also during this first episode, the Featheringtons take in Lord Featherington's cousin. Her name is Miss Marina Thompson, and she's from a farm. She lives on a farm, and they take her in to debut her for this season. And when she shows up, she's quite beautiful, and the family wasn't expecting that from someone who lives on a farm. So that is the Featherington family. Then we have the Lady Danbury, who hosts the first ball of the season at her home. We've got the Queen, and we have a couple of other like side characters, and then there is the Duke of Hastings. He is the other main character of this episode, and he is quite handsome, but he does not want to be married. And he is only in town because his father has passed away and he has to, you know, take care of some affairs for his father and taking his father's title. So the show, all these ladies that are looking to get married are debuted first with the Queen. And the Queen is very bored watching them, except for when the main character Daphne shows up. She is what the Queen says is flawless, and they expect great things from her this season to find a suitor, but her brother doesn't think anyone is good enough, so he kind of scares everyone away. And then we've got this mysterious character named Lady Whistledown, who writes like a gossip paper about all the ladies of the season and kind of gets people talking about everything. So no one has any idea who Lady Whistledown is. And she writes all these things, and the Duke and Daphne don't exactly like what she has to say because she talks about the Duke and not wanting to be married, and then she talks about Daphne and saying the Queen's probably wrong about her because her brother, Lord Bridgerton, is scaring away all of these eligible suitors. And after the first ball, Marina Thompson, the cousin of the Featheringtons, she ends up having a bunch of suitors, including Daphne's brother, Colin Bridgerton, come to their home to see her the day after this ball. So at the first ball of the season, this is at Lady Danbury's house, everyone thinks Daphne Bridgerton is gorgeous and beautiful, and they're all looking at her, and her brother scares all these suitors away. And she actually, this is where she meets the Duke of Hastings. So at this first ball of the season, Daphne is trying to get away from Lord Burbrook character, who is much older than her and says he has been amused with her since she was 5 years old and he was a schoolboy, which is a little odd. So Daphne's trying to get away from him and she bumps into Lord Hastings, which is where she meets him. And she realizes he's friends with her brother from school. And then after this is when her brother says, leave the men wanting more and to leave the party so that they will all come calling. And then the next day when they come to see her, he scares them all away. After this first ball, the Bridgertons go to the opera and see Lady Danbury there. And Lady Danbury invites them to come and sit with her in her box at the opera. And while Daphne is sitting there watching the opera, Lady Danbury and Lady Bridgerton come up with this really big scheme to get Daphne and Lord Hastings together. Because Lord Hastings doesn't want to get married and Daphne is losing suitors because of her brother, they come up with this amazing scheme. So the next evening, the Duke of Hastings joins the Bridgertons for dinner and is a little in shock when he realizes Daphne doesn't see him the way all the other ladies do. All the other ladies kind of flock to him and throw themselves at him because he's a duke and they all want to marry him. But Daphne actually doesn't. She seems kind of annoyed with him, which seems kind of interesting to him. So in the next scene after this, they are arriving to the this last ball of the episode. And this ball is gorgeous. Like, it's set outside. The dance floor looks beautiful. They do some, you know, magic things with some light bulbs and lighting them on fire all together with one strand. And Daphne is sitting there watching this magic thing happen. And her brother, Lord Bridgerton, he comes over and tells her that she is going to marry Lord Burbrook, who she does not want to marry. Her brother decided he doesn't want to deal with all these suitors, and Lord Burbrook has not done anything bad, so he is going to just set her up with Lord Burbrook, which makes her really mad. She does not want to marry Lord Burbrook. She doesn't like him. He is much older than her. And so she gets angry and walks away, saying she's not going to marry Lord Burbrook. At the same night, Colin Bridgerton, Daphne's brother, is looking for Miss Marina Thompson, who's the cousin of the Featheringtons. And she's not there, so he asks Penelope Featherington where she is. She says she's not feeling well and that her mother stayed home with her and their dad was there escorting them. So we flash over to the Featheringtons' home, and the housekeeper realizes that in the month that Marina Thompson has been there, she has not bled. So Miss Featherington comes in and starts fighting with Marina. And they end up getting into a big fight and slaps her because she is with child. We don't know who the father of this child is yet. So, we're back at the ball. And Daphne has run away into the garden to get away from everyone because she's freaking out because she does not want to marry Lord Burbrook. Because she doesn't like him. She doesn't want to be forced to marry somebody she doesn't like. So Daphne is in the garden, upset about Lord Burbrook. And who comes to find her in the garden? Lord Burbrook. He's talking to her, asking what she's doing. She's asking him to leave her alone. She refers to him as Nigel, so he thinks it's a good sign that she wants to marry him. And she says to him, "I will never marry you." And he gets really upset and grabs her by the arm, and as this is all happening, the Duke of Hastings walks into the garden. And he goes to help her, only to realize she doesn't need him to save her because she punches Lord Burbrook and knocks him out with her right hook. So before I go any further while I'm blending this out, I want to let you know the next part is full of really big spoilers. I'm going to talk a little bit about, this next part is going to talk a little bit about the plot of the show. So if you haven't watched it yet, you should stop now and go watch it. Okay, so now I'm just going to bring all of those colors down under my eye here. So I am gonna So in the garden, the Duke and Daphne come up with this brilliant idea for both their problems with Lady Whistledown, who they both have a problem with because of everything she writes about them. And they decide to make him look, the Duke look unavailable, and Daphne to look desirable to all the men and the suitors. They are going to form an attachment, a fake attachment, and this will leave all of the men interested in her and make all the women think he's unavailable. That is their big plan. So for my bronzer, I just used Savvy Minerals Summer Loved bronzer on my face, on my cheeks. And then I'm going to be using their Captivate blush today. The show ends with them at the ball, coming out from the garden, and they are hand in hand and they're dancing and everyone is looking at them, which, you know, is good. It's a good sign. It means what they want is working so far, and they just need to continue for a little longer until Daphne finds a suitable husband. And I'm gonna go put on some mascara and lashes really quick, and I will be right back. So this episode ends with them dancing at the ball, everyone looking at them, gorgeous fireworks going in the background. And it is like the perfect ending to the first episode. So when I first heard about this show, I did not think that I was gonna like it at all. I mean, I like timepieces and British shows, but I just didn't think I was gonna like this one. But I gave it a try, and I am so happy that I did, because it was a really great show. So this is just all about episode 1. There are 8 episodes in the first season, which is all that is out right now. And I'm gonna go over 2 episodes a week talking about them if you wanna keep watching, or if you want to go watch it for yourself now, as it is a really nice show. So I'm going to be back later this week to do episode 2. Let me know what you think if you have watched it, what you think of the show. Let me know if you haven't seen it and if you are considering watching it. If you haven't seen it though, go watch it and let me know what you think of it after you watch it. And I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a really great day.